Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. Let me turn this down a little bit. Hold on, because this one does not want to come up. There we go. Welcome in, everyone. There we go. Let's bring you over just a little bit more. Oh, God. Here we go. All right. There we go. There we go. All right, so you're going to be able to see my computer, which I'm okay with that this time. The problem is that's fine. Okay, no, my camera's not coming up like it usually does. There we go. All right, but usually, I want this camera. That's not really what I do. It's not acting right. Okay, all right, here we go. All right, welcome. And if you are viewing from YouTube and this is not your first time, welcome back. If you are viewing from Facebook, this would be your first time because it's my first time. So, welcome. You have entered into Camellia Halt, formerly known as, okay, hold on, y'all, Copy Your Collections. Please bear with me. I almost ended, I almost not satisfied. Because when I tell you everything and everything, every and anything that could go wrong has been going wrong. Normally, when I go live, I just go live and everything runs smoothly. But yet today is that day that everything wanted to go wrong. It first started with myself with beginning to cut a couple pieces of, of this thing, but I'll tell you about it in a minute. So again, welcome in everyone. My name is Kim. This is Camellia Halt. I have many you know from YouTube know that I rebranded my business because out here in the islands, I was not able to um, get a lot of the ingredients shipped out here. Although this is domestic, I still wasn't allowed to get a lot of the ingredients that I needed to continue with Copy Who Collections. So I had to rebrand. And so when I did, I rebranded to Camellia Holt. I decided since I am a sewist and have been sewing for 50 years, and some of you may know I used to sew all my work clothes, all my work clothes, all my church clothes, and things of that nature. And but I never really fully stopped sewing. I just kind of would take breaks here and there. So I had to rebrand, and because of me having to rebrand, um, that's when I decided because I've always wanted to do a handbag business, which I did sign up for Columbia in Chicago, but it was going to start in I think it was May or June, and my husband ended up taking a job in Utah, which then I had to, you know, uh, not be able to go because they didn't have any online classes. And so I had to push it to the side. I was actually taking up leather working at the time. So that's a little bit about my background. Welcome in, welcome in. Um, if you're on Facebook, I can't see your comments. It tells me I can't. I'm not sure why. It won't even allow me to integrate to Instagram. I'm not sure why either. So I'm only able to see any comments that are put in on YouTube at the moment. So I do apologize. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring your comments. However, so that's why I got into bag making. Now I have made bags in the past. I've made a couple a McCall bag and a Vogue bag, but never on a professional scale. And so that was just a little personal bag that I made for myself. So, um, so in today's video, I am going to make what I call the Swaya bag, which means enlightenment. A word Swaya means enlightenment or light. And so that's the bag that I'm going to start off with for my collection. Now, when I tell y'all, when I say every and anything, anything and everything that could go wrong today went wrong. First, I had did a practice um, on muslin, as I always tell you, because in the apparel side, you always want to sew out any garment in muslin first, particularly garments that you are designing, because you want to make sure it has the right fit. Well, I decided to do the same thing with my bag. However, I did not sew out the pocket. I mean, did not cut out, excuse me, I did not cut out the pockets for my bag, only for the demo bag. Um, and so I am so disappointed. I didn't realize it. It was the last minute. I didn't have time to do it. So my bag, this bag is not going to have it. However, for anyone who orders this bag, you will have the pockets. And what I'll do is I'll do a separate video showing you how to add the pockets to the bag, so you'll have that. I did see a glitch. So I will do a video showing you how to add the pockets to the bag, so it will not be lost upon you on how to add pockets in case you've never done it before. Now, this is not a pattern that will be sold. However, I'm still giving you like the construction on how to make certain bags. This is kind of like a hobo bag. Kind of like a slouch, not a slouchy one, but it is a hobo bag, but it's more of a more construction to this bag. So, like I said, I did forget the pockets, but we're going to move forward anyway. Secondly, I embroider my labels. As you've seen, if you look at the two bucket hats that I made embroidery labels. Well, anytime I'm going to make a denim bag, my plan was to make embroidery tags. So I went to go stitch out the embroidery tag, and for some reason, the machine jammed, and now the bobbin is off track, and I don't know how to fix it. It just got stuck, and I'll have to take the throat plate off and try to play around with it. I hope the machine is not destroyed, um, but I didn't do anything other than put the thread in, and it jammed. um, and it made such a big mess. So this is the mess that it balled up on the inside of the bobbin that I had a hard time even trying to get it out. So now my bag doesn't have a tag. So now that's another issue. All right. Then, then I'm trying to do this. I cleaned this out. I oiled it down. The bobbins didn't want to line at first. The bobbins kept trying to get jammed up underneath the bobbin holder. I'm like, what is going on? And originally, I was going to cancel the whole live, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to continue to go forward. And then the fourth thing, this bag is supposed to have grommets on it, and the grommet machine is janky. So I'm going to have to put the grommets on later as well, and I'll have to do a video showing you how I got denim dye underneath my nails. I'll have to show you how to do the grommets in a separate video as well. So I hate the long introduction because I hate 10-minute introductions myself. However, I just had to let you know where I was, because I really almost ended up not had this live because of all the frustration that I was experienced, but neither here or there. I am here. All right. So in this video, I am going to show. So these are the two rings that I would ordinarily have. Once I put the grommets on, the rings will go on, and then these swivel hooks will go on. And like I said, we'll show you that in a separate video because I did get everything together. Also, I do have my zipper. This is a metal zipper. So when sewing a metal zipper, I didn't mean to buy a metal zipper. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. I really like to buy nylon zippers because you can sew it easily. So when I have to go sew over the zipper, if I have to sew over the zipper, the shortness, I'm going to have to use my hand wheel to make sure I don't puncture my needle. All right. So typically, let me pull this up. Typically, when you're making your bags, I noticed that a lot of people start with their handles. And so um, I am going to start there. It is the easiest thing to start with. So I do have one handle. I did make this. So typically, a woman's height is between four, or I should say between five. I mean, sorry, five. The the handle, the length of the handle is typically from a 4 foot woman to a 6 foot woman. However, or maybe more close to 5 to 6. The handles are typically between 18 to 24 inches long. I decided because this is a shoulder bag and not a crossbody bag, I decided to go in the middle and do a 20-inch handle. So I did cut out a 20-inch handle. All right, let's see. Give me a second. All right, give me 1 second. A lot of this I won't need. Um, all right. And I do have my lining pieces. So this is C. I have two of these cut, two lining pieces cut. So this is C. I've already clipped together. I'm gonna put a few more clips in. I do have A and B here. And then I have A and B here. So when the back goes together, I do have them on opposites. I have few cut out. I'm not 100% sure if I really want these to be opposite. If not, I'll just hurry up and grab the two. I just have them off to the side. But I'm not sure if I absolutely want these to be opposite this way, or if I just want orange on one side and denim on the other. I'm still thinking about that. Matter of fact, let me grab that right quick while we. So what I did was I cut out enough to make two bags. One bag will be my personal bag, and the other bag would be my the bag for sale, for purchase. And so the sad thing about it, I didn't cut out pockets for either one, but I'll cut out the pockets later on. More so maybe tomorrow. I'll do the pockets and I'll film that as well. So I do have enough for two bags. I did do that. Um, I cut two of A of the orange and two um, A and B of the orange and two A and B of the denim. So it would be this one, I believe. So if I decided, because it goes like this, and I know it's a little difficult because I'm trying to stay in camera until I get me another camera, it will open up like this. So if I have this one right here, and then if I do this one, and it opens up like this, so when I put them together, they will open up like this. So, oops, that's not correct. Hold on, you guys. Like I said, when I tell you it's been a day. All right, so that's actually correct. I think this one is correct. Hold on. I just clicked them wrong. They're supposed to be clipped on the long side. These are the handles, so you don't want them. Yeah. Hold on, let's see. Like I said, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave all of this in. I'm just going to keep it pushing. Um, one of the reasons why I gained weight is because of stress and discouragement. And I said I wasn't going to allow that to take over today because I definitely got discouraged. So I may just keep it like this, orange on one side and denim on the other. So I'm not sure. So I'll keep this one nearby, and I don't want to bend that too much. Okay. All right. So, and this, like I said, is A and B, and this is A and B. And then I'll put you to the side as well. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. And so I am sewing on, turn this a little bit, it's a little easier for me when I turn. I am sewing on a Juki TL, a Juki TL2. I'm sorry, TL 2010Q. For my thread choice, I am using Gutermann thread. It's a little bit of a heavier thread. So I do have my blue already loaded. This is a dark blue. I'm gonna stitch the whole bag with the dark blue, and I'm going to top stitch with the orange. Now I'm thinking of top stitching the middle, and I may top stitch one side with the blue and the other side with the orange. We'll see when we get there. Hold on one moment. So what we supposed to do, and this is my first time, so bear with me, y'all. We're going to start with the handle, and it tells me to interface the handle, and I have interface. And oh, so let me tell you this. This is not my bag pattern. However, um, I am not naming the bag that particular name. I am renaming the bag also because I'm altering the bag, which is why I cannot sell this pattern. I do have a pattern I am working on. I am only about 40, maybe 50% done on that bag. I am still trying to get the measurements together. It is hard drafting a bag. People on YouTube make it look easy, but it's actually hard, especially to get what you want. And I'll hopefully be able to release that bag by June. That's going to be my absolute signature bag. And I'm super excited about that, but I'm still working on that bag. All right. So what we're supposed to do is, and I'm sorry for people that need double-sided tape. I do have double-sided tape as well. Here it is, double-sided tape. Um, if you need to put double-sided tape down. All right. So what you would do is you can take let me bring it back just a little bit. Take your strap handle and you can either iron this down. I also have a roller. This is a little bit thicker denim, and I interfaced this strap to make this a little bit thicker. Don't know how well the roller is going to work on here, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I just want to crease the handle a little bit. I want to crease it. I could take it to my iron, but I'm limited on space. So I just want to crease that a little bit. Then I want to bring this part into the middle. And what I like to do is try to clip it to make it easier. You don't want to bring it all the way into that crease because it bends. So you want to leave a little bit of that crease outside of that crease. You're going to bring each side in. This is just easier for me, especially when I'm working with heavier, thicker materials. And you're going to bring this in. Okay. You're going to bring that into the center. All right, and then you're going to bring this side in as well. Now, I do also have a die cut that I purchased where I am going to make specialty, or I should say signature handles. The other bag, the other orange bag may have that specialty handle. It will be a handle that I will put on all my bags from now on. Um, I just haven't had a chance since I've gotten it to play with it to learn how to work with it and make the handle efficient or sufficient enough for me. But hopefully I will be having that you know, down packed so that all my bags, you'll know my bags by its handle. All right. And so then what you're going to do is you're going to just bring this in. All right. So you're going to bring this in together, hold it in together. All right. And just clip it all the way down so you can make sure it's even. I like to work both sides until I get to the middle to make sure my strap is heavy. And I've chosen to do denim because denim is heavy. You want a heavier strap. Welcome in, welcome in. A heavier strap. Welcome in. If you're from YouTube, welcome back. If you're from Facebook, welcome. This will be your first time because it'll be my first time. All righty. And we're just going to clip this all the way down. And this is not a tutorial. I'm just showing you behind the scenes of me working on my bag or any of my bags or any accessories. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and bring the sewing machine back over. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch all the way down and all the way back up, leaving the ends open because we're going to put, we're also going to put the hooks on the strap. It's only going to be one strap because, like I said, it's a shoulder strap. It's going to be one strap. And we're going to put the hooks on. But I am going to attach the strap later. All right. I think I have something I want to do. I think I'm going to change this thread for a second. And it just popped in my head. It's not something I thought before. Typically, when you have anything denim, you have gold thread. And now, last minute, let me find. I had everything laid out, so this has kind of got me a little off because it is something I just thought to find a bobbin. Hold on, bobbins. Because with the Juki, it has separate bobbins. Let's have them. That's it. Here we go. Um, I showed you in the video before I bought these bobbins off of Amazon, so you don't have to still spend a whole bunch of money. Yeah, I think I want to do the gold. Yeah, I do. I want to do the gold accent thread. All right, let's do that. Something I just thought of. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind. All right, put you there for now. And I do have a third. I have another one of these that I could have used. One thing I do like about the Juki, you actually can wind your bobbin while your thread is threaded. You don't have to unthread your machine to do a bobbin like on most machines you do. So we're going to go ahead and get this threaded up, get a bobbin in here. So yeah, I'm going to change my mind on that a little. And you want to turn it into a click. I hope you heard that little click. And you're supposed to get to do this now. I haven't tried it, but there we go. Uh-oh, something's not moving. Give me a second. I heard it click. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, click. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Okay, okay. All because I changed the plans. Okay, let me stand up. Put my glasses on. And when I get another camera, I'll show you. There's a little notch that it has to click into. Come on. There we go. I hope you heard that notch that time. There we go. There we go. Because I know I did it once before. You cannot sew and wind your bobbin at the same time, but you can wind your bobbin without unthreading your machine. Okay. And you know what? I didn't show y'all. Um, I always have several things with me when I am sewing. I do have my scissors, my fabric scissors. Do not ever cut material with these. I mean, cut paper with these. Oops. Oh, jeez. Okay. I like to have snips. Snips make it easier to cut into small areas, small things. Okay. Just put you to the side. And even with the Juki, when you put them in, you should hear the click. It's not always easy, especially when you're not in the right position. There we go. If you don't hear that click, it's not in. So I am going to unthread it though, because as you know, I want to use. Oh, come on. You kidding me? Something happened. Something happened. There we go. There we go. I want to put you back there. So you'll see me thread this, and it's pretty easy. The only thing is that automatic bobbin threader I still have not worked out for the life of me. I don't know what that is because I cleaned my needle. I normally have alcohol pads, but I had ordered them and they were in that order that got sent back. That I was telling you about my last video that I'm going to do another video about. All right, and that's it that you have to do with a Juki. I always have a stiletto. Stilettos helpful when you're trying to push through thicker materials, and a seam ripper in case you ever need to rip the seams. But I definitely like to keep these two things by me. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is just a little pouch that I made. I thought was cute. I was learning how to do box bags or boxy bags, whatever they call them. So I made a small one for my small clips. I'm going to make another one because I have 2 more sets of clips. I don't like the way that feels. Oops, my pen. Oh, it's not overflowing. Oh, there we go. And I'm sewing this at about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And it's not bad. And I'm not going to back stitch. I'm not going to back stitch because this is going on a swivel hook. It's going to be a little thick, so I'm not concerned about back stitching. Yeah, I like that. I like the gold better. There we go. Now, if you needed to make that a little bit thinner, you could have taken it to your iron and ironed it down before you stitched it out. Oh, yeah. See? Look at that. I said I didn't like the way that was. I'm going to restitch that part. Guess this was my day for the mishaps. All right. Because you will see that. So I want to take that out right there. We're going to go ahead and take this out. And I want to snip as close to a stitch as I can. So now what I want to do is I want to put my needle placement right there in that last hole. It's going to be a little bit hard because I have my zipper foot. Excuse me, my walking foot. There, I got it. And the reason why I'm using my walking foot and not a Teflon foot. Hold on. Here we go. Normally, if you're using vinyl or leather, you would use perfect right in that hole. Right in that hole. All right. See? You can't even see where it ended, where I did it. You can't even see it. It is perfect in that hole. I was able to get it right in that hole. Normally you would do a Teflon foot when you're working with um, vinyl. But in this last order I was telling you about, they got sent back. This large order, it was order almost $250. They got sent back because it went in through Puerto Rico, and somehow between Puerto Rico and being received in St. Thomas, I do believe St. Thomas is who did this. St. Thomas Post Office is the one who made this mistake because it scanned in. It scanned in here on the island at the post office where I pick up my mail. And then all of a sudden, the next day was on hold. And then next day after that, it got sent back stating undeliverable, saying that they couldn't read the address, although it's a P.O. box. So, yeah. All right. So, after we do the handles, I'm not going to put this on now because, like I said, my grommet and rivet press, it's a rivet press and grommet press, is kind of acting up. So I'm going to do the handles off camera. Normally, what you would do is you would take your swivel hook and you will put your strap through in about 1 inch. You have two things you can either do. You can either sew it. I think it looks nice being sewn, as well as having a rivet there so that when you're handling and you got things in your bag, it can withstand the durability of the bag. So I'm going to do the rest of that off camera. I just wanted to go ahead and do it. And I'm glad I did this on camera so that you could see that mishap. I'm glad I did that. All right. So now, to me, this is the most easiest part. It may not seem like it, but it is. All right, so you're going to take A and B. Typically, I don't do a whole lot of clipping. I don't really need to do a lot of clipping. However, for the sake of the video, I am going to add a couple of more clips. All right. Just add a couple more just so, because I'm not working with also. No, walking foot is just as good as a Teflon foot, but a Teflon foot to me works a little bit better. So, it's a little off. All right, let's go. And I really don't like doing this. I am going to back stitch. Okay. So, and I'm doing this at about a 3/4 inch seam allowance. Oops. It is a little off somehow. Oh, I didn't switch over my thread. Look at that. That's okay. Let me do the other one because I definitely want to do this in blue. And it's okay. However, I want to do this one in the gold and then I'll switch it back over to the blue. Do I want to do, let's see. Hmm, I think I am. I think I am. Okay. And you want to backstitch before you get to the end, right before you get to the end. All right, so let me do this. I know it's going to be a lot switching back and forth, but it's what I decided I wanted to do. So I'll be switching back to this gold, sorry, in a few. Come on, maybe I can do this without looking. A little crazy angle, so it makes it a little hard sometimes. All right. All right, so this is what it looks like. Normally I would go ahead and top. All right, so let's go ahead and open up this seam. So now you want to open up your seams. Um, you want to flatten out your seams. Let's move you back for a second so you can see what I'm talking about. So you want to flatten out your seams because this is marine vinyl. Although I did iron that on, I don't know how much heat it can take. It didn't. I mean, there was some said that it can take heat. Some said you cannot. But you want to flatten out those seams. So for when you're not able to iron, you can use a roller. So I just prefer to use the roller. So what I am going to do is I'm going to clip my seams so they'll stay open. And for the sake of this video, which is why I said I'm not going to do the pockets because I don't want this video to be too long. We're already half an hour, a little over half an hour in, almost 40 minutes in. So again, open up those seams. You can do it with your fingers as well. I'm going to have to trim this bottom because somehow, yeah, I guess I didn't pin it well. I could take it out, but I'm not going to because that means I would have to make sure, what did I do with my rotary? I would have to make sure that I get back in the tools again. And normally I would have everything cleaned up and only have stuff out. But I am going to trim this a little bit. It is going to make a slight bit difference, but I'm going to go ahead and trim it. But I'm going to use my scissors to trim around here instead of instead of the rotary. Welcome in. Just a small trim. All right. All right, here we go. So let's go ahead and put these back in for now. You know what? I'm not. So we're going to put them back in. All right. So before we switch that thread back again, we're going to go ahead, make sure this stays open. I am going to, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I'm going to go ahead and put the gold back on because I want to top stitch first. I should have thought about that first. It's okay. It is okay. Oops, wrong way. And you actually put your bobbins in on the left with a semi and an industrial machine versus a domestic that goes in on the right. So let's thread you back. So I'm gonna put you back over here just as a tension. I told you those things that went wrong has me a little discombobulated, but it's okay. I'm here. I've been also dealing with some tension, slight tension headache as well. And I'm gonna get the automatic threader, but oops, I hate when it twists. Come on. Made a little bit of a knot. Went right in, but it made a bit of a knot around. It looped around. No, it's easy. It went in. Now I want that up. There we go. All right. Now let's go ahead and top stitch down. We're just going to do the gold on both sides. Okay. This thing again. Usually not this close to me, but okay. All right. So you want to make sure that your seam stays open. And you're going to do this at about a 1/4. So I will be filling underneath to make sure that seam stays open. Take your time on this. And if you're using a domestic machine, which I'm not going to say that you cannot, but with thicker materials, it's best to use a semi-industrial high speed or an industrial. Your needle will end down. All right. And just take your time on this part. You don't have to rush through this part. And I'm not going to back stitch as I didn't in the beginning because I'm doing a top stitch, so I'm not going to back stitch. All right. So we're going to do the same on this side. And if you got stretch material, you also want to take your time. Because if you work with any type of stretch material, your material can stretch. I am not working with any type of stretch material. I did look up, and this type of faux leather, it is faux leather, it's not leather, does not stretch. All right. Yeah. See, that gold looks nice on there. Yeah, that gold looks nice. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and snip my seams now. Now, my denim, it's a heavy denim. I forgot what size it is. It does. Oh, how did that happen? Some stitches are in there. That's all I'm worried about. It's fraying a lot more than the cheaper denim. My cheaper denim didn't even fray. My expensive denim is fraying. All right, I like that. Okay. Now, again, I think I am going to stick with this. So, yes, I'm definitely liking the same side. I was going to do the opposite side, but I think I'm liking the same side. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to start with the orange side. There we go. All righty. Every once in a while, I still want to reach for the wheel. I have to remind myself that it's automatic. Okay. And you're going to see gold a lot in my bags. All right. We're going to go ahead and now do this side. And this also makes your seams flat because you're pressing open, you're stitching open your seams. Hmm. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. And snip. All right. All right. So the next step is we're going to go ahead and put these two together. Normally, I would have done the lining first, but it's fine. We're going to go ahead and put these two together. But before I do that, I am going to change my bobbin again. I hear my spouse. I'm trying to stop using the word husband because I have since learned that husband and wife are derogatory terms. Actually, and words, I don't know if you know, but words do have vibrations. They have meaning, and they can change the scope of your lives. And husband and wife basically means harlot. It means pretty much the same for both, just a little different, but it means pretty much people in the streets, harlot, ladies who stay on their back, men who run around and, basically where he lay his hat is his home, but the female HOE. So it means a lot of things. It means he's the B word as far as BA word, not the word that they call female dogs. Like, it's so derogatory. So I've been trying to keep those words out of my vocabulary. Come on. You want to have to see the fibers. Okay. All right, so I'm switching back because we're going to go ahead and now do interior stitching. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the sides. We're going to get these sides lined up and stitch out the sides. I'm going to go ahead and clip, and this is where the Teflon foot would happen. But this does have a coating on it. Not sure what that coating is. Did you knock, baby? Oh no, he might have hit the wall. All right, so I'm gonna get both sides pinned up. Um, I like to listen to hip hop, not rap, but well, I guess rap, but not the new stuff, the old school. But even in the old school, it has some inappropriate words in the songs. I can listen to it once in a while, but I definitely don't want that on my channel. It feels a little off. I'm gonna add a couple extra clips because I feel like it's a little off in the cutting, but I can make it work. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now, and what we're going to do is I'm going to get my camera, y'all. We're going to stitch down both sides, but before I stitch down both sides, I'm going to also get this lining together. I have to feel it to know which side is which. Okay. It's a little difficult to know. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's all right. So this is the so I did do waterproof canvas. Although this bag does not call for waterproof canvas, um that's one of the ones that they state is too heavy. Look at that dot from the denim all of my fingernails. I was gonna do my nails, but then I was like, oh, I need to color my hair first. And then I didn't feel like coloring my hair. So I was like, no, I don't like to put nails on before I color my hair. So maybe tomorrow I'll color it and then I'll do my nails. But um can't believe that dye is all up in my fingernails. But I mean I didn't cut everything out until just a few hours prior to me going live. Because I've just been busy all day. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these clipped down the sides because I want to go ahead and get the sides done to this as well. Actually, I won't need the gold anymore, um, the gold thread, because it's even though I bought the orange for this pattern, but I'm glad I went with the gold. All right, so we got the gold stitched in as well. I mean, pinned down, clipped down as well. So, and I need the pattern. I meant to bring the pattern over. Normally, what I will do is I like to start with my hems, my seams, because I want to make sure my seams are lined up because you got to do the bottom. What I normally do is I will clip the sides as well, and I will start at the seam. And I'll show you in a minute. I feel like that tie is getting off. Oof. I mean, I am still working with it. This bag actually can be washed in cold water alone, but it cannot be dried, and it does absolutely have to be cold. All right, so you want to make sure my seams are actually matching. So I'm going to take a peek in, and they are perfect. So what I normally do is I will start with my seams. So let me move you down some, like I did that one. I like to start with the seams to keep it. Let's take this one off. To keep my seams from shifting. I guess all that clipping didn't matter. Normally I don't anyway, but I normally start right at the seams, and that just ensures that my seams do not shift. Okay, and so I will still back stitch. And I'm not going to back stitch at the end. And I don't want it to be too bulky when we box the corners. I know most people do, but I do not want to. All right, so now I am going to flip it. And I'm going to, because I'm not top stitching, come on. And I'm going to start right there at the seam again. And I'm just going to go ahead and stitch down. All right. And I'll show you my stitches should not have shifted. When you start at that seam, typically don't have shifting stitches. All right, so we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to start at the bottom. Nothing wrong with starting at the bottom. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead And remember, I'm not going to back stitch because they're going to be boxed. Come on, shifting or something. There we go. Get a back stitch there. I'm going to bring you back. There, I do want, okay, I will do that. On this end, I feel more comfortable doing that. All right, I am going to start at the end over here as well. We're going to go ahead and do this side next. And get it in time. Go. All right, so now we're going to do what is called boxing the corners. So we're going to take these two. And now for this, it's a little harder to start at the seam. I'm going to have to go because it's opening up a little bit. Normally, I don't have to do that. I know normally the box corners before I box that. That one was kind of trying to open up. That one wasn't opening up, but I'm going to do it one anyway. What the heck? Normally, I don't have to do that. I'm going to do this one while I'm at it. So if your machine is not getting all the stitches, then you may want to go ahead and back stitch. I typically don't back stitch when I'm boxing corners. It's not the first box bag I made a tote before, and I didn't box. And never had it come apart. That time it did. So just to be on the safe side, we're going to be on the safe side. All right, so we'll just start with the denim side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we line up these two seams. So you're going to open up your seams and make sure you line up your seams. All right. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and clip it to make sure nothing doesn't shift. This time I am not going to start at the seam because it's so small. Normally I would, but I'm not going to. And we're going to do this at 1/4 seam allowance. I am going to back stitch. I always back stitch over my bulky seams like that. Okay. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, yep, that thread is acting up, so there we go. So why is that up here? Take you out because I'm not sure what happened. There we go. The tension is still good. All right. And this is a brand new machine, so this should never be happening. Okay. It did happen a few times with the bucket hat, so. All right, I'm going to go over that just one more time. All right. welcome in, welcome in. If you're on Facebook, welcome. I cannot see your comments. I'm not sure why Facebook is not allowing me to see your comments, even though it's integrated. If you're on YouTube, welcome back. If you're returning, if you're new, welcome in. All right, and we're going to go ahead and line up the seams. Make sure again, open your seams and make sure your seams are lined up. We're going to make sure those seams are lined up. And if you need to add 3 pins, do so. All right. There we go. All right. So let's flip it out. Let me go ahead and trim. I want to trim. I have it. Okay. I want to trim a little bit. Let me use my scissors. Trim this down just a tad bit. Typically, I would use my pinking shears, but this is the one day that I did not bring the pinking shears over here. And I always have those with me also. All right, so let's flip this inside out and take a quick look. It shifted anyway. See, it shifted. But just a tad bit, but it shifted. Even though I checked and checked and checked, and it's still slightly shift, but I am okay. Nothing I can do about it, but it's a slight shift. All right, now, see, I didn't even use the pattern. See, y'all, I didn't even use the pattern instructions. Done forgot all about the pattern instructions. Funny. I just happened to look over. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do the lining. I just kind of know how to do it because it's not too far off from doing a tote bag, which I do have a tote bag pattern for you. All right. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. We're going to go ahead and get the lining stitched out. Okay. All right. And we're going to go ahead and hit the bottom before we start cutting all of those pieces, snipping all those pieces. All right. So we can go ahead and snip all those pieces before we box the corners. All right. We're going to go ahead and get these seams lined up. I'm not going to press these out. I'm just going to make sure I line them up. Some people like to push theirs one, push to one side. I still like for my lining to be, I want my lining to be the same as, about that shift, as my bag. My butt and back is hurting because I don't have the appropriate chair. Um, I'm sliding down, actually. Oh, 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 no, 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 no. I don't even know that song. The problem is that some of this music is from my sister's playlist. I download her playlist on Apple because I had to do a new one altogether because I got locked out of my other Apple account and I would not do Apple on my iPad, only on my Android. So I'm starting over. So I downloaded her playlist, a couple of her playlists to get my music back up. She does listen to a lot of music that I don't listen to outside of what we listen to in the stateroom. So I have to be careful with listening to her music online. Okay. It's getting a little thick and bunched up. I'm not sure why though. Again, I would normally use my pinking shears as y'all seen in other videos. Trim this down some. Um, don't know where I put them. Well, kind of put them up. So, all right. So, from what I understand, this actually has to be turned back in because I think right sides to right sides go together. And I'm going to double check the pattern to make sure. But from what I understand, the right sides go together. But let me double check. Um, Before we do that, let's put that aside and do this zipper part. I'm not understanding why they want this curve. It says to, and I've never done this before. Now, hear me out. I can put zippers in pants, dresses, coats, anything apparel. I can put zippers in anything apparel. But for some reason, when it comes to these handbags, this zipper ideal and this pocket ideal, even though I did forget about the pocket, kind of got me on edge. It's kind of intimidating. So, because it's completely different. Um, so it does say, so I do have a number 5 zipper, but it also says I don't really have to seal my zipper because my zipper is already sealed. I already have zipper tabs or zipper ends, but I'm not sure if I absolutely have to bend. It says fold the zipper into a triangle, but the problem is that you're actually folding the zipper itself and not the extra. Because it does say if you're using a zipper tab, then skip. I'm not sure. I was prepared to do my own zipper tape and my zipper pull. Um, I think I'm going to skip that part. All right. So what? Now this is where I'm a little confused. Say, all right. Now here we go. Turn the exterior right side out. Yep. Okay. Turn the exterior right side out. Right side out. Okay. So make sure you push all your corners out. Normally, I would have a tool. They lined up perfectly. So that's perfect. That did not shift on me. Yeah, the ends definitely did not shift. Like I said, the other is slight, but it shifted. All right. They look good. And it still has a slouch to it. And I don't know if I told you, I see it's coming up, but I interfaced the denim some just because this was a little heavier faux vinyl. It's faux marine vinyl, so it's a little bit heavier. But I got the marine because I was doing some research and I found out it works better than a lot of the regular faux vinyl that a lot of these fancy shops sell and online stores and things. It holds up better. And so, even though this is a heavy denim, I felt like lining or interfacing a denim would make it kind of fit better. Because I felt like one side would be more slouchier than the other, so I did give it some little bit of structure. All right, so turn exterior right side out, and then open the zipper, and then place prepared zipper right side, beginning on the left side of the front exterior, where you previously made your zipper. When I tell you that sentence doesn't make sense, it is a run on sentence and it makes no sense. However, I got to get my pattern for a second. Because in the pattern, there have to mark the zipper starts and stop. And because they have you cut out the pattern mirrored, oh, this is coming loose. I got to add more glue. Because it's mirrored, you can't add the markings right then there. So I'm gonna have to add the markings now. And I do have a leather vinyl pen that wipes away, and I have my wipes right down there. Um, so let's see. We transfer. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this a little bit off camera. Transfer that zipper marking. All right. Hold on. Because everything was mirrored. So it made it a little difficult in trying to. I never heard of cutting out a pattern mirrored. In a second, trying to line it up so that these tabs can be, this marking can be where it's supposed to be. All right. So I know, let's see. Those instructions are not clear to me. Um, but you have to put the lining in before you put the zipper on. So that's not making sense to me. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Because I'm used to a drop lining. I am going to do what I know. I know how to do a drop line. And I think that's what we're going to do. So, what you do with a drop lining, you're going to put wrong sides to wrong sides together. If I did the pocket, I do know that you could do a pocket and flip it and turn it through the pocket, but I'm going to do it this way, the way that I kind of know how to do it. So I'm going to match up the seams, wrong sides to wrong sides on it. Oh, sorry, I don't have you on camera. So I'm going to match up the wrong sides to the wrong sides. I'm going to clip first. Let me see. It may not work, but her instructions to me right there is not clear. I thought they were, but they're not. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. All right. So let's get that in here. Just line you up. I think I might want to use my heavy duty clips. And I do have some heavy duty clips specifically for denim. And for multiple pieces, I think I'm going to use these in the small ones. This is what they're for. All right, yeah, I'd rather use these for now. All right, so I know if you do a drop lining, this is a drop lining. However, with the drop lining, I then can add the zipper and then sew it all at one time. So if I put my stopper at that place where the drop lining is, because typically I would pin it all the way around. And then if I put my, oh, sorry, there we go. If I put my zipper there and I flip it over, this is which way the zipper would be. And the line, sorry, it would then be like this. It would then be like this. That's how you would do a drop lining. I think I'm gonna do a part two. I'm gonna go through these instructions. I'm gonna try to find her video. I think I'm just gonna do a part two. I'm already a minute in, an hour in, almost 20 minutes in. Like I said, that part of her video did not make sense to me. I mean, her instructions. Um, I don't want to mess it up because want to be able to give you the pattern also so that you can, if you want, purchase the pattern. But that's where it's confusing me. You know what? That's what I'll do. And what I'll do is before I add my lining on, then I can go ahead and possibly put the pockets on. How about I do that? I think I'd rather do that. I think I'm going to end the live here. This is what we have so far. See how that's slouchy and that's not standing up as much as that is because it still has a little bit more structure. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to end it here for now. Oh, I am loving that two-tone combination, y'all. I am absolutely loving it. If you love it in the comments, please let me know. Give me thumbs up in the comments as well as hit that like button. If you love this color combination, my new colors for Camellia Holt is going to be, well, it is, I'm already working on it, but my brand colors for Camellia Holt is like a deep orange or a burnt orange, still antique brass, nude or bone color, ivory or bone, more bone than ivory, and black. That is my colors, and I will be incorporating denim. So you might as well say denim as well. So I built this business basically on denim. I originally was only going to do denim. Oh, that little bug scared me. I was only going to do denim. However, I decided to add vinyl and leather into, my business. So, that's what it is. But so I'm going to end it here for now. We're going to do a part two. And you know what? I'll do the part two tomorrow. How about that? I'll just set up set up a live. I'll do a flyer and we'll do a part two tomorrow. I'll go ahead and look back at the instructions again. Um, and um, and we'll go ahead and add the pockets because it's not too late to add the pockets. and we can go ahead and do the zipper and the straps. And I may do my specialty straps instead. But I will see you on tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to drop your comments. If you have any questions, anything you want to see in the future, let me know. If you have any questions about this bag, please let me know. I will drop the pattern in the second part of the video, not the first part. Um, if you had anything you want to talk, want to learn, want me to show you, I would be more than happy to do a video for that. And turn your notification bell on so you'll know the next time I go live. Typically, I will just go live once a week. Sometimes I'll do twice a week, but I'm going to go ahead and do part 2 tomorrow. Thank you all so much for joining me. Everybody who's come in, even the people who are sitting in the hallways, I appreciate you as well. And I will see you on tomorrow's video.